Hey, what's up everyone? Aubrey Trades here and welcome to another market recap video. That is right. First of all, we gotta talk about the craziness that is backed holdings up 66% on the day. Such a beautiful breakout. If you were able to catch it, congrats to all the longs. I did not take this clear entry signal because I don't like money, apparently. I thought it was like a little high priced of a play for me, and it's midday. This is happening at 9:50. Something like I'm trying to avoid the midday chop, and then by the time it's power hour, it's already up so much, and I'm just like, I don't know. Oh well. But zooming out, first of all, I want to make this point. Look how clear this looks on, this is the 30-minute chart. With this pullback, bounce day, higher low. And then when we have this little opening drive here, that is your signal. And then from there, you kind of just wait for this consolidation to happen, and boom, you go to the moon. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Congrats to all the backed holding longs. DWAC and fun. Not nearly as exciting. DWAC had a moment where it had wanted to spike a little bit into Trump getting on the TV and doing something live, and then as soon as it starts, big old dump happens. And I thought that was pretty humorous. Similar to Doge dumping when Elon Musk showed up on SNL. Fun, of course, followed with similar price action in sympathy. But also, let's talk about AABB outlined yesterday and this morning as a opening drive holding red to green, which it did so beautifully. I mean, not even getting close to that red to green area. And you got this nice spike from 12 cents all the way up to almost 18. Just absolutely beautiful. Congrats to anyone. I did not play it because I've been intentionally trying to avoid OTCs after looking into my stats and seeing that I've lost the most money on OTCs, so I'm trying to pull back on that. EQOS, great, another midday breakout, just absolutely incredible. I mean, you had this opportunity here at 10, you had this at 11, that's Pacific time, of course, going from 5 to 7. I mean, just so it's like the midday though, and I'm just like, keep telling myself to avoid the midday. BTBT having this random 40% spike at the end of the freaking day on Bitcoin rebounding, which I just thought was pretty freaking funny. A10, I guess. I'm just going through the top gainers. BBK, Big Digital. That's nice. Big Digital. I didn't even notice this during the day. Interesting. Let's look at that daily. That's a good first. The volume's not great. Let's see this blip. This is like a blip of volume. 130 is a range that I would keep an eye on though. Anyway. So that's it for really the runners. I'm just going to get into the trade recap real quick. GFAI, Mark, MEDX, NXTD ending the day down around $11. Not the worst. I mean, hey, fine. You know, I'm still up $200 on the week. So I'm still considering it a great freaking week. Let's go to GFAI. That's like one of the best weeks I think I've had. Maybe the best week? I don't know. I'll go into it on the weekly trade recap. I took an opening drive play on GFAI. After this nice morning spike, I was waiting for the consolidation. Took the buy at 422. I got filled for 424 on this, break out of this consolidation range for the push. Had that moment, could have gotten out with some easy profits here, but instead I was looking for a high a day move. File in the back of my mind. Like, pay yourself. I should have at least taken 25 off the table here in the 430s. I really should have. And I got stopped out here. I was sized inappropriately for this, the low of this candle. It was $20 risk, and I rounded up. This is like 392. I rounded up like to, I don't know, whatever it was, 40 cent risk. I might have sized for 45 or something. So 1650 to start the day, down. Ugh, lame, right? And also, honestly, this would be a green day if I didn't take that dumb trade. So, what are you doing, Aubrey? What are you doing? MedX was the next trade I took, and that was, I don't know why it takes me back in time, right here when we popped back up over VWAP, started kind of doing this with the moving average line convergencies, got in at 67.3 right here. Same story. I was looking for the high a day test, could have gotten out for some profits here, should have taken half off the table, but I didn't, and instead I stopped myself out right here because I was sizing in for a risk on this. So once it hit there, bam, cut it, and it ended up working anyway. I sized in bigger, but sized in bigger, the risk reward wouldn't have really made sense. So, and it wouldn't have made sense for me to risk anything more than 63, and even that would have, and I'd end up having to cut either. But you did have this, like, I guess on the secondary pop up and the double bottom VWAP test here was a nice sign to take the long, and you could have ridden that for, I don't know, there's 67, call it maybe 68 to 72, so you could have gotten a little bit of a win there. From MedX, I got, and that was a $5 loss. That was a $5 risk trade. From there, I went into Mark and NXTD. Mark, now I took just a couple scalps, 218, sizing in for this trend break, risking off of 215, and then ended up cutting here on the bounce after this reject candle. Was kind of like a mirror action of what happened with GFAI, which we got to this bounce, and there's someone sitting on the ass like, pfft. Like, all right, so should have taken half off the table. I just always got to take half off the table once there's that hesitation moment. Just pay yourself along the way. There's nothing wrong with re-entering. Like, if this if this tested the trend line and it held and wanted for some continuation, I could have just put half back on. Like, what does that matter? Ended up scalping here when it did end up working a few minutes later, taking it at 228, a little high price. I should have just bought the dip here, but didn't. I don't know, I just couldn't pull the trigger fast enough. I have a problem when I see something dipping and I'm like, oh, let me buy when it's showing weakness. It's so hard for me. And then once we tested this zone, right, and at the time, this is a similar-ish zone, so I'm thinking this is like, okay, it's a weak breakout, right? It's a weak test of this range high. So I get out for the smallest freaking scalpy win. Same thing, seller just plowing the ass, just hidden size on the level 2. It's one where it's like showing 360 or whatever, and you're seeing like 50, 60, 70,000 shares go in on the time and sales, and it's like, okay, I don't like that, I'm getting out. And just as well, because this immediately pulled back to 225, which would have been really, really difficult for me to sit through, especially carrying 1,000 shares. And then you did have a secondary spike, but not before clocking a new low in the consolidation range. So that was actually pretty lame. Although you do see sometimes these false breakdowns, and then that's what gives it the drive to pop up. In which case, I would just say the same thing that I always say is, hey, your ideas aren't wrong per se, you just have a habit of being 10 to 15 minutes early. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, minute 11. What is that to say? Well, maybe consider sizing into your positions. Know that you're probably early. Size in, right? size in. Then we'll finish it off with NXTD, which was, what did I play here? Boom. Okay, yeah, I see what I was doing. I was sizing in for, I did this line once the thing failed, but I had this drone, or this drone, but nice little like trend break action here, getting out, trying to remove it. So anyway, so I sized in for this retest, and then once we got to 399 again, and it was the same thing, like someone just sitting on the ask and huge size going through. I'm like, all right, I'm taking the 3-cent win, and I'm walking away because I don't trust that this is gonna have continuation. And sure enough, I mean, this ended up pulling back to 378, which would have been a 10-cent loss. That would have been really rude, and then ended up just kind of fading into the close. So, overall, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed that I missed like the trade of the day on backed holdings, and I just got involved in these like really lame, choppy stocks that didn't really move. Like they moved, they had opportunities, but it was just tough, right? So, but not mad. I mean, even though I'm down, so yesterday was $4 today, so I'm down $15 over the last 2 days. I still am up over like $200 on the week. So that's like one of my better weeks. Might be my best week. We'll see in the trade review. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. If you got value out of this video, please hit the like button. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing and leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you did. What tickers are you watching? What are you doing to improve your trading? I want to hear from you. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'm Aubrey Trades. I'll see you in the next video.